It was supposed to be a game changer. Yesterday, a late afternoon announcement by the education minister that starting next year, high school classes would average 23 students, a slight increase from this year's average of 22.9 students per class. Oh, and students, well, they'd be able to opt out of e-learning. Instead, it ended up further increasing tensions between the unions and the government. I'm Cristina Howorun, and starting tomorrow, outside at Queen's Park, expect to see about 15,000 teachers out on the lawn. Those will be teachers from OWECTA, the Catholic Teachers Union, and also some Toronto high school teachers as they engage in another one-day strike.
Today, I'm telling school boards a policy change of our government and a plan for a maximum funded average for secondary class of 23 students starting in the 2020-2021 school year.
It was a move that took teachers by surprise.
Liz, just to confirm that for 2 weeks ago that this offer was not tabled by the government.
We have not, 2 weeks ago, we did not receive an offer.
Is this
like
the first time you're hearing about this?
The 23-1 in this format? Absolutely.
But the government has since provided evidence that they did, in fact, tell OWECTA about the plan more than a week ago, including the proposal that for grades 9 through 12, the average class size, excluding online learning classes, would not exceed 23. Now, we tried to speak with Liz Stewart about this discrepancy, but because the union is back at the bargaining table, she isn't available. OWECTA confirms that they did get that proposal over a week ago, but in a statement don't acknowledge her denying she knew about the 23 average, instead pointing out that because online classes will have an average of 35 students, the government's proposed funding of secondary class sizes would not result in an average of 23-1.
Minister, in terms of the proposal that you've put out to OWECTA on paper, have you offered that to any other teacher unions in paper, in print?
Well, we have had exploratory talks with OSSTF. We were not even able to get to, with OSSTF, to having, tabled proposals on either end. You asked, rather, Cristina, a question of the union presidents very quickly. Did you know the classroom average would be 23? And the answer was no, and quite clearly the answer was yes. On February 24th, that was tabled.
OWECTA, who announced their members would accept a 1% wage increase, are the only union at the table.
What is it going to take to get OSSTF back to the table? What does the government need to do?
We need indication that there is flexibility on things that they've drawn absolutely hard lines on.
So what are the rigid lines that this government has drawn?
It was several areas that were part of exploratory discussions, and given that we had made a commitment not to make those public as long as they were exploratory and not formal positions, I'm not going to discuss them here. Even though it appears that the government has.
Now, sources familiar with the negotiations tell CityNews that one of those issues is benefits for high school teachers. ETFO, that's the union representing elementary school teachers, well, they've said that if they don't have a deal by Friday, they could be taking further job action. And at this point, they're not at the table either.